And we are live. Hi everybody, can somebody just give me a thumbs up in the comments to let me know that you can see and hear me? Okay, great Tom, thank you. Okay, over the last couple of weeks I've been sharing with you my confident framework. Actually, I'll just bring it up so you can actually see what it is I'm talking about. Now, if you follow and implement this roadmap into your business, you're going to be able to build and grow your business in such a way that it'll give you clarity, control, and confidence, even in these uncertain times. And so far, we've explored the need for clarity, asking the question, what lifestyle do you want your business to provide you? And then what does your business need to look like so it gives you the means to be able to live that lifestyle? Then we looked at obstacles, what might get in the way of you achieving that? And then we moved on to navigation. How can you move forward consistently? Then once the route's clear, the next question then becomes, does the plan work financially? So in the last live, we dug into the finance step and shared what you need to have in place to create a really profitable, cash-rich business. And today we're going to look in some depth at the income step. And we're asking, how do you consistently create profitable income without pressure, without panic, without constantly feeling like you have to force things? Now, by the way, if anybody would like a copy of the Confident Roadmap, if you just put the word roadmap in the comments or DM me, I will get it over to you. So, income. Actually, let me just open up again. 1 second. Now, let's be honest. For many business owners, income can feel unpredictable. 1 month, things can be great. The next month, things feel uncomfortable. And when things start slowing down, fear has a habit of whispering in our ears things like, maybe we need to lower our prices. Maybe we need to post more. Maybe we need more SEO. Maybe we need a brand new marketing campaign. Maybe we need to say yes to everyone. Maybe we just need to work blinking harder. And this is where many businesses begin damaging their momentum, because fear-driven marketing usually creates poor positioning. And poor positioning has a habit of attracting the wrong customers. So let me ask you something. How confident do you genuinely feel when it comes to sales and marketing? Not externally, but internally. What does it do to you on the inside? Because many business owners are inconsistent, uncertain, uncomfortable selling, and they're unsure about where the next lead is going to come from, and that can create pressure. And something really important is that income generation is not just about selling. It's about giving clarity. It's about trust. It's about positioning, communication, relationships, consistency, and emotional connection. And the truth is that people rarely buy because they fully understand your product or service. They buy because they feel understood. When you can understand people or make people feel like they're understood, that changes everything. One of the biggest mistakes I see in business or businesses making is trying to market to everybody. And when you speak to everybody, you end up deeply connecting with just about nobody. So let me ask you, how clearly defined is your ideal customer? Can you describe their frustrations, their fears, their aspirations, the pressures they might be feeling, their beliefs, their values, what might be keeping them awake at night, what they secretly want? Or are you still creating generic marketing, hoping that it resonates with someone? And the truth is that marketing is not information. Marketing, or great marketing, is identification. It makes somebody stop scrolling and think, that's me they're speaking to. Now, one of my favourite ways to explain this is to compare marketing to the dating game. So imagine you were writing a love letter to the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Would you write to whom it may concern? No, of course you wouldn't. It just wouldn't work, would it? Instead, you'd probably write something that's personal, something that's emotional, something specific, something that makes the other person feel seen. And great marketing works exactly the same way. And people are drawn towards businesses that make them feel understood. And here's another uncomfortable truth. Many businesses think they have a sales process, but what they actually have is more like a hope process. So an inquiry comes in, a quote gets sent, and then everybody sits down and waits and hopes. So let me ask you, what happens after somebody inquires in your business? What are you doing about building trust? Are you reducing uncertainty? Are you creating confidence? Are you deepening the relationship, educating them, helping them feel safe? Or are you unintentionally rushing people towards a buying decision before trust exists? Because trust changes the whole conversation. I worked with a building company some years ago who were generating more than enough leads, but they were winning very little business. And when we looked at their process and looked at it through the lens of a love letter to the ideal customer and the dating game, their sales process was basically, would you like to go on a date? Followed immediately by, will you marry me? Now, that's highly unlikely to work in the dating game, and it's highly unlikely to work in sales. And the truth is that high trust sales simply don't work like that. So we redesigned their journey with more communication, more education, more touch points, more reassurance, more social proof, much better follow-up. And their conversion rate went through the roof, which is pretty handy if you're a builder. Not because they became pushier, because they became better at building trust. And this also connects to one of the biggest misunderstandings in business. A lot of people think marketing's job is to sell my stuff, and that's not really the job. Marketing's real job is to move somebody one step closer. That's it. Now, that could be one step closer to trust, closer to understanding, closer to certainty, closer to confidence. Because at any one point in time, there's only a very small percentage of people who are actually ready to buy immediately. The stat I've seen is 3%. And most people need first to have familiarity. They need reassurance. They need to see consistency and connection from you first. And this is why content matters so much. And not content for vanity, not content that's going to please some algorithm, but content that makes people feel understood, challenged, or sometimes inspired. Content that makes them feel seen. Now, another thing I see all the time is businesses that are trying to compete on price. And that's a dangerous thing to do. Because if price is your only differentiator, you're in a race to the bottom. And that's a race you never want to win. And the truth is, most people don't buy purely on price. They buy because of confidence, because of certainty, because of trust. They buy emotion, they buy the experience, they buy safety, they buy the results they get. In truth, people buy emotionally and then they justify logically afterwards. So let me ask you, what makes your business genuinely different? Not some generic statement like we care or we offer great service, because we care or we offer great service opposed to what? That's just entry-level stuff. It's the least that the customer expects. So instead, think in terms of what makes you memorable, what makes you meaningful, What makes people feel these are my people? Because connection creates conversion. Now, one of the most powerful things I teach clients is that small improvements in the right areas can create massive results over time. Now, slightly better leads, slightly better conversion, slightly higher prices, slightly better retention, slightly stronger follow-up. Those tiny shifts can have a massive compounding effect. And this is why systems matter so much in business. Your inquiry generating systems, your follow-up systems, your referral systems, your retention systems, your relationship systems. Because without systems, income becomes dependent on energy. And eventually that can become exhausting. Now, before we finish, I just want to leave you with a few important questions for you to consider and answer. Are you attracting the right customers or customers that are just available? Does your marketing create connection or just visibility? Are your sales systems creating momentum or dependency on you constantly on the push? And if someone was to look at your marketing today, would they feel this business really understands me? Because that's the real game. That is the real game. So your momentum move for today is this. Write down your ideal customer. Who is your ideal customer really? Then answer these questions. What frustrates them? What scares them? What are they trying to achieve? What's important to them? What language do they use? What might they secretly wish someone understood about them? What's the conversation that's going on in their head? And then ask yourself, does my current marketing sound like it was written specifically for that person? Because when people feel understood, sales becomes so much easier. Okay, before I go, if you'd like a copy of my ebook, 44 Lessons from 44 Years in Business, drop the word lessons into the comments or DM me and I'll send it over to you. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, we're working hard, working blinking hard, but income still feels inconsistent, or we're getting plenty of inquiries, but too many opportunities are slipping through the cracks, or maybe we're busy, but profit still isn't where it should be, I've just dropped a link into the comments. If you follow that link, we can have a conversation, or you can DM me and we'll arrange it through another method. And today, what we'll do on that conversation is together we'll look at why your inquiries are failing to turn into profitable customers, where your conversion might be breaking down, where your profit might be disappearing unnecessarily, and what's actually stopping your business from growing consistently. Because sometimes you can be too close to a problem to see it clearly yourself. And one good conversation can unlock opportunities for you that have been hiding in plain sight for months, sometimes years. Okay, I will leave you with this. Often the biggest breakthroughs in business come from small strategic improvements in the right places. So until the next live, same time, same place on Friday, you go create some real momentum. Thanks for watching.